Hello, or in Korean, 안녕하세요, and thank you for joining me. In Korean, thank you is 감사합니다. I am Reverend Becca Gorell, pastor of the Lebanon, New Hampshire United Methodist Church, and I greet you on behalf of myself and on behalf of Reverend Sean Delmore from the White River Junction, Vermont United Methodist Church. Sean and I actually are both taking some time off this week, and this message is being pre-recorded to bring you a word of assurance and hope, even in the midst of our time of isolation. And it's of this taking time apart that I wanted to speak today, because it is so hard to feel like it's okay to take time for oneself, and to feel like it's okay to take time off from whatever it is that we do. Now, I feel like my job is really important because I'm a pastor, but also because I just am a really important person. And so many people are relying on me to be there for them, to take care of them. I want to be there for all of you and to take care of all of you and to bring you words of hope and assurance. I want to talk to you on the phone. I wish I could see you in person. And especially as both Sean and I prepare to move, it feels so hard to pause and take time apart because our time with you is so precious. And yet, no one can help anyone else, serve anyone else, give of themselves to anyone else if they become so depleted that they're unable to do that. And it's not just pastors who think we're important. All of us are important. I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, are caring for others, for other people in your household. You're making sure that there's food available for people or gardening supplies available for people to pick up at our various churches. You're making sure that people in the community are safe. You're working essential jobs. You're volunteering. You're taking care of a loved one's health. You're protecting a loved one's health by exercising excellent hygiene. No matter what you're doing, it is vitally important. Many folks are teaching or video calling or calling children during the day, during work hours, and doing multiple things at once. It feels impossible to stop. And yet, the word of assurance that I have for us today is that the world will go on without us. For a couple minutes, for a couple hours, for a couple of days. Depending on your need and your context, it is okay to rest. It is okay to let somebody else handle it. It is okay to trust that God's got this, that the pile of dishes and the list of schoolwork and the need to do laundry and the workload of caring for others, and yes, the list of people to call and listen with and cry with and pray with will still be there. And it is not our job, any of our job, to save the world. That job has already been taken. And even that person took time apart. This is one of my favorite parts of the New Testament. I have lots of favorite parts, and I know Sean says the same thing. This is my favorite passage, and then says the same thing about something else a week later, but this is one of my favorite parts, and it comes from the Gospel of Mark in the first chapter. And so I'm going to start at the 32nd verse, chapter 1, verse 32, but just for the little bit of setup. That evening at sunset, they, that's the disciples, brought to him, of course Jesus, all who were sick or possessed with demons. And the whole city was gathered around the door. And he cured many who were sick with various diseases, and cast out many demons, and he would not permit the demons to speak, because they knew him. In the morning, while it was still very dark, he got up and went out to a deserted place, and there he prayed. And Simon and his companions hunted for him. When they found him, they said to him, "Everyone is searching for you." He answered, "Let us go on to the neighboring towns, so that I may proclaim the message there also, for this is what I came out to do." And he went throughout Galilee, proclaiming the message in their synagogues and casting out demons. Jesus does not tell his disciples that he is going out to pray. He doesn't tell his chair of SPRC. He doesn't find himself a guest preacher. He doesn't find someone to cover the Zoom meeting. He just goes and takes the time he needs to be alone with God. The whole city was at his door, clamoring with need for healing, for casting out demons, for hope, for new life, and he can give it to them. And he knows it. And the need is greater than any need we can imagine. It's the whole city, it's the whole world in need right now, right? And he helps many of them. It does not say all. Many. He cures many and casts demons out of many. Not all of them. He hasn't finished everything on the to-do list. He hasn't yet saved everyone in the world. But he needs some time to himself and alone with God. He doesn't so much as leave a note. He goes and he takes care of himself, of his spiritual need, and probably his physical need, to be apart and to rest. And if Jesus can lay down the work of healing the world for a second or for a few hours, while his disciples search for him everywhere because they're not sure they can do this work without him, if Jesus can do that, you can too. Whoever you're caring for, however hard you're working to make everything happen all at once, I promise you need time for you too. And if you lay it down for a few minutes, or a few hours, or if you can, a few days, people will be okay. And God will understand. In fact, Jesus models it. So that is also my action for you this week. Take some time alone with God, in a place that is sacred to you, which might be the silence of the bathroom because it's the only room in the house where you can be alone, or it might be a walk in the woods, or a place that's your sacred, happy place. But take some time, whether it's a couple minutes, a couple hours, a couple of days, whatever time you can, it counts, it's enough, it's holy, and tend to your own spirit. Tend to your own connection to God. Tend to your own body and its needs for rest. Tend to your own self and your own self's needs to know that this person is important to take care of as well. It will be okay if we take care of ourselves. I often sing for William the song, Come and Find the Quiet Center, as a bedtime song. So I thought I would sing imperfectly, just the first verse of that song for you as an invitation to find some quiet and some stillness this week. Come and find the quiet center in the crowded life we lead. Find the room for hope to enter. Find the frame where we are freed. Clear the chaos and the clutter. Clear our eyes that we can see all the things that really matter. Be at peace and simply be. May you find time to simply be and be at peace with yourself and with God this week.